Don't be fooled by silence. A woman who likes you won't always say it. Sometimes she hides it. Sometimes even she doesn't know how deep it goes. But a Stoic man pays attention, not to her words, but to her patterns. Because feelings, no matter how hidden, always leave a trace. These are 12 signs she likes you, even if she's trying not to show it. And number 9, it's the one most men miss until it's too late. Let's begin. 1. She remembers the smallest things you say. You mentioned your favorite snack once, and days later, she brings it up. She recalls the name of your childhood pet, the dream job you told no one about. That's not casual memory, that's care. The Stoics said, pay attention to what people do when no one is watching. Her attention is not an accident. 2. She laughs, even when you're not that funny. You crack a bad joke, she still laughs. She finds you charming, even when you're awkward, because attraction makes even the ordinary magnetic. And laughter, it's how she breaks her guard without saying too much. 3. She gets quiet when you talk about other women. You didn't do it on purpose. Maybe you were just telling a story. Maybe you casually mentioned a female coworker, a friend, or someone who messaged you. But the moment her name left your mouth, the energy shifted. She got quiet. Her voice softened or disappeared completely. That playful spark she had just moments ago, gone. She may still smile, but it's not the same. It's tight, distant, faint. Because even though she's trying to stay cool, her heart felt something. She didn't want to feel jealous, but she did. She didn't want to care that much, but she does. And that silence, that pause in her vibe, it's her way of protecting herself. She doesn't want to give herself away. She doesn't want to show her cards. So instead of saying, "Why'd you bring her up?" or "Do you like her?" she just shuts down a little. This is what quiet jealousy looks like. No drama, no confrontation, just subtle withdrawal. A woman who feels nothing wouldn't react. She'd keep chatting like normal. But when she likes you and doesn't want you to know yet, she won't fight you over another woman. She'll just pull back. It's not loud, but it's very real. And if you're paying attention, you'll hear everything she's not saying. 4. She mirrors your energy without realizing it. She might not even realize it, but her body speaks before her words ever do. You lean forward slightly while talking, and a moment later, so does she. You cross your legs or adjust your posture, and she unconsciously matches your position. Your voice slows down, gets calmer, more grounded, and hers gently follows that rhythm too. She's not copying you to be cute. She's not trying to impress you with fake interest. She's simply mirroring your energy, because on a deeper level, she feels connected. When two people are emotionally aligned, mirroring happens naturally. It's the body's way of saying, "I feel safe with you, I'm present, I'm tuned in." And it's one of the most honest signs of emotional closeness, because it can't be forced or faked. She won't do this if she's guarded. She won't match you if she feels tense or uncomfortable. In fact, if she's disinterested or unsure, you'll feel the difference. Her movements will be out of sync, or she'll maintain physical and emotional distance. But when a woman likes you and doesn't want to make it obvious, her body speaks in little whispers. The way she sits when you're relaxed, the way she walks beside you in the same rhythm, even the way she laughs, timed just right with yours, like she's trying to hold the same emotional frequency. And she may never say, "I feel close to you." She may not even admit it to herself, but her energy blends into yours, quietly. That's not performance, that's trust. You'll notice it most during conversations that matter. The way she listens, the way she nods slightly when you do, the way she mirrors your expressions, your intensity, your calm. This is how emotional alignment looks: subtle, silent, real. The Stoics taught that the truth isn't always loud. It lives in details, in presence, in restraint. This kind of mirroring is exactly that. It's not a shout of love, but a quiet echo of it. And if you're paying attention, you'll feel it. She won't chase you with words. She won't confess through grand gestures, but she'll mirror your energy because deep down she wants to feel close, even if her mind is still afraid to admit why. That's the beauty of this sign. It's hidden. Software, easy to miss. But once you see it, you know exactly what it means. 5. She finds reasons to be around you. When a woman is drawn to you but doesn't want to admit it, even to herself, she won't come out and say it directly. Instead, she'll keep finding ways to be around you, slipping into your space like it's just coincidence. But it's not. She'll start appearing in places where you usually are, even if they're slightly out of her way. Maybe she didn't need to take that route. Maybe she had no real reason to stay after the meeting, the gathering, the event. But she lingers. She takes a little longer to pack up. She waits near you. She finds an excuse to cross your path. Again. You'll hear things like, "Oh, I didn't know you'd be here," with a half smile that tells a different story. She didn't plan it. At least that's what she wants you to think. But deep down, a part of her hoped she'd run into you. And when she does, she makes the moment last. She's not rushing off. She's not checking the time. She's giving the moment space, because you're in it. This is the kind of sign that doesn't make noise, but it repeats itself over time. One coincidence, maybe. Two, still possible. But when she keeps showing up, when her presence starts becoming part of your pattern, it's not random anymore. People don't rearrange their time for things that don't matter. Life is busy. Schedules are packed. If she's carving out moments for you, she's already prioritized you in her heart, even if her words haven't caught up yet. Even in a group setting, you'll notice. She gravitates toward where you are. She positions herself close without making it too obvious. She listens when you talk and she responds, sometimes with just a glance or a smile. And if you suddenly weren't there one day, she'd notice. She might not say anything, but she'd feel it, because part of her day is built around the hope of seeing you. That's the thing about real interest. It doesn't always scream. Sometimes it just shows up, again and again. And no matter how hard she tries to act casual, the pattern reveals everything. She doesn't need a big reason to be near you. She doesn't need to force a conversation or make bold moves. You, by yourself, are enough reason for her to stay. That's how you know. Not by what she says, but by how often she chooses to be where you are without needing to explain why. 6. Her friends know who you are, even if you've never met them. You might think you're just someone she chats with now and then, someone she sees at work or in class or through mutual friends. But to her inner circle, the people she trusts the most, you're already a familiar name. You're a full conversation, a highlight, a topic that comes up even when there's nothing really to talk about. You've never sat with her best friend, you've never texted her cousin, but they know who you are. They've heard about that funny thing you said last week. They know how you always hold the door. They've even heard about that time you looked at her a little differently, and it made her feel something she couldn't explain. That's not by accident. When a woman is truly interested in a man, even if she's trying to keep it subtle on the outside, she can't help but let it leak out in the places she feels safe. Her friends get the version of her that isn't pretending to be distant. With them, she's real, raw, unfiltered. And when you come up in those conversations, it's not because she's trying to be dramatic or romantic. It's because you've taken up space in her thoughts. She's thinking about you even when she's not around you. And that kind of presence, it slips into the things she says, the way she talks, the way her voice softens when your name comes up. If you ever happen to meet her friends and they act a little extra warm, if they smile at you like they know something you don't, if they nudge her while you're talking and she looks away trying to hide her smile, know this: They've already heard the behind-the-scenes version of how she feels. They've seen her eyes light up. They've heard her try to downplay it and fail. They've probably told her, "Girl, just tell him already." But she won't. Not yet. Because liking someone in secret feels safer than admitting it out loud. It's less risky, less vulnerable. So instead of telling you, she tells them. And they carry that truth in their smiles when you show up. It means something powerful, because we don't talk about people who don't affect us. We don't tell stories about people we're indifferent to. We don't bring someone into our most trusted spaces unless they matter. So even if she's reserved around you, even if she plays it cool, never crossing the line, if her friends already know who you are, you're not just some guy anymore. You've already made it into her world, and whether she admits it or not, that says everything. 7. She acts nervous, then pulls back. She's not trying to confuse you. She's trying to protect herself from a feeling that's growing faster than she expected. One moment, she's open, laughing with you, holding eye contact, leaning in like she wants to stay in that moment forever. But then suddenly, she shifts. She turns away. Her words become shorter. Her energy dips, and it feels like she's building an invisible wall between you and her. You might start wondering, did I say something wrong? Did something change? But it's not you. It's what you make her feel, something real, something she doesn't quite know how to handle yet. She fidgets with her hands, adjusts her hair, looks down. She might talk too fast or say nothing at all. This isn't disinterest. It's emotional overload. Her heart is leaning in, but her mind is hitting the brakes. It's a silent tug of war inside her. One part of her wants to let you in, wants to be fully seen, known and chosen. The other part is whispering, "Careful, don't fall, don't get hurt again." So she retreats, not because she's done with you, but because she's afraid of what comes next if she gets even closer. She starts over-analyzing every moment you shared. Was I too obvious? Did I give him too much of my heart too soon? Is he just being kind, or does he feel it too? That nervous energy you're picking up on, that's her battling her own hope. She wants to believe in what she feels with you, but she's also trying to keep herself safe. This is when most men back off, thinking she's lost interest. But a Stoic man knows better. He doesn't take the pullback personally. He sees the truth behind the hesitation. He understands that this kind of nervousness only shows up when something matters, when there's risk, vulnerability, a chance to be hurt or loved. Her sudden shift isn't a test, it's a shield, and you're standing right in front of it. So if you really want to know what she feels, watch her during those nervous moments, not just when she's laughing. Pay attention to the pauses, the silences, the times she pulls back after being open. Those are the moments that hold the most truth. Because she's not playing games. She's trying to figure out if you're safe, if you're steady, if you're the kind of man who won't run when she gets scared of her own feelings. And if you are, if you remain calm, grounded, and consistent while she's figuring it out, you'll give her the space to stop pulling back, to trust the feeling instead of fighting it, to choose closeness over protection. That's when everything changes, not because she suddenly feels more, but because she finally feels safe enough to show it. 8. She asks you deep questions. She could keep it light. Talk about the weather, your weekend, your favorite song on the radio. She could laugh at your jokes, nod at your stories, and move on like it's just another normal conversation. But she doesn't. Instead, she leans in and asks questions that go deeper than most people ever dare to. She asks about your childhood, not just the funny memories, but the ones that left a mark. She wants to know what scared you growing up, who disappointed you, who inspired you. She asks about your parents, your friendships, your failures. She asks about your dreams, the ones you've never spoken out loud because they sound too big, too distant, too personal. She's not doing it to keep a conversation going. She's doing it because you matter to her, more than she wants to admit. And she's not asking just to hear the answers. She's asking to feel them, to understand the pieces of you that shaped the man you are now. When a woman is emotionally invested but trying to keep it hidden, her words become subtle gateways into your heart. She doesn't say, "I like you," or "I want to be close to you." She just asks, "What makes you feel alive? What are you afraid to lose? What's something you've never told anyone?" Those questions are not random. They're sacred, because she's not trying to impress you. She's trying to know you, not the surface, not the mask, but the real you, the one you protect, the one few people ever get to see. And when you speak, she listens with everything, not just her ears, but her body, her silence, her eyes. She doesn't interrupt. She doesn't change the topic when things get heavy. She stays. That stillness, that deep attention, is her way of saying, "I care about what's under your skin, not just what's on it." Most people rush past pain. They skip over fears. They don't want to sit with the uncomfortable parts of another person's story. But not her. If she's asking about your wounds, your hopes, your secrets, it's because she already feels something for you that goes beyond attraction. She wants a real bond, a real connection, and her questions are her first steps across that emotional bridge. She won't always be able to tell you what she feels, but how she listens to you, especially when you're vulnerable, will say it for her. And if you answer with honesty, if you let her in just a little, you'll see that what she's really trying to do is build something sacred between you and her. Not with grand gestures, but with one deep question and one quiet, unwavering moment of presence at a time. 9. She lights up when you walk into the room. You don't have to ask her how she feels. You just have to enter the room. Because the moment you do, something in her shifts. And it's not loud. It's not dramatic. It's subtle, but it's undeniable. Her eyes find you, fast. Even if she's in a conversation, even if she's looking elsewhere, the second she senses your presence, her focus shifts. Her expression softens. Her body language opens up. You might notice her sit a little taller, smooth her hair, fix her clothes. Not to impress you on purpose, but because her body automatically wants to present its best to the person it cares most about. That brightness in her eyes when you walk in, that tiny pause in her breath, that's not coincidence. That's chemistry. It's how the heart reacts before the mind can control it. You haven't even spoken yet, but she already feels something light up inside her. Her smile becomes just a little different, more real. Her laugh has a different tone, softer, warmer. Her energy lifts as if something just shifted the atmosphere. And even if she tries to act normal, even if she plays it cool, you can feel the difference. The people around her might not notice, but if you're paying attention, you'll see it, because no woman plans to light up like that. It's not something she rehearses in the mirror. It's not part of a strategy. It's instinct. You walked in, and her nervous system responded before her mind could stop it. And it's not just visual, it's energetic. The way she talks changes. The way she looks at you lingers a second longer. The way she positions herself, just a little more open, just a little closer. She doesn't even realize she's doing it, but her entire presence starts speaking the words she won't say. "I'm happy you're here." That's not performance. That's attraction, raw and unrehearsed. And what's powerful is that she might not even admit it to herself. She may still be guarding her heart, still unsure if she's ready to feel this deeply. But her body already knows. And in that moment, when she lights up at your presence, her truth slips through the cracks of her calm. That's why this sign is so real. It doesn't require words. It doesn't need effort. It just happens. And no matter how much she tries to hide it, the glow in her face says everything her silence won't. So pay attention to those subtle shifts, to that spark when you walk into her world. Because if she lights up when you arrive, you've already lit something up inside her, something that not even she can fully explain, but that she deeply feels. 10. She tests your reactions. Gently. Sometimes it's subtle, so subtle you might miss it if you're not paying attention. She says something teasing, just a bit sharp, not mean, but enough to throw you off for a second. Or she suddenly becomes distant after being warm with you all day. You might catch yourself thinking, wait, what just happened? She's not doing it to confuse you. She's not trying to mess with your head. She's doing something much quieter, something much deeper. She's testing. But not in a manipulative way. This isn't a game. It's a form of emotional self-protection. Because when a woman likes you but isn't ready to fully admit it, even to herself, she still wants to know, is this safe? She wants to see what kind of man you are, if you're steady, if you're patient, if you'll notice when something shifts in her energy. She might say something like, "You must be really popular with girls," and then pause, just long enough to see how you respond. She's not looking for the perfect answer, she's looking for the real you. She's asking a question without asking it out loud. Will you chase status, or will you value connection? Will you reassure me gently, or get defensive and pull back? Even her silence can be a test. She doesn't reply right away to a message. She acts colder than usual the next time you see her. Not because she wants to punish you, but because she wants to see if your presence is constant, even when she withdraws. This is how women with guarded hearts reveal their interest, not by confessing feelings, but by watching for consistency, by watching if you flinch at the first sign of discomfort, if you get upset, or if you remain calm, unmoved but attentive. Because what she's really looking for is security, not in your money, not in your looks, but in your emotional steadiness. She wants to know, if I pull back just a little, will you hold steady? Will you stay patient while I work through my fear? Will you prove with your calm that I can stop testing and start trusting? Most men fail this test, not because they're bad guys, but because they react too quickly. They take her distance as rejection. They take her teasing as insult, and they walk away too soon, right when she was on the edge of letting herself get close. A stoic man, though, he knows better. He doesn't panic when her energy shifts. He doesn't raise his voice or demand explanations. He observes. He reads the situation for what it really is. A woman wrestling with the weight of her own emotions, not sure how to carry them, but hoping you might help her steady them. And when you respond with patience instead of panic, when you remain kind and grounded instead of pulling away, you give her the answer she was quietly hoping for. You show her that you're not just interested, you're ready. And for a woman testing for something real, that is the sign she's been waiting to see. 11th, she tries to impress you without making it obvious. She won't say it out loud. She won't announce, "I'm trying to impress you," but you'll feel it if you're paying attention. One day, she walks in wearing something new. It's not flashy, but it's different, subtle, elevated, a shade of color you've never seen her wear before. Her hair falls a little differently. She smells just a little more like effort, like she chose that scent knowing you'd be nearby. She doesn't mention it, doesn't call attention to it. But if you look closely, you'll see she's watching to see if you notice. That's the quiet work of someone who cares. She talks about something she achieved. Maybe a compliment she received, a goal she crushed, an unexpected win. And the way she says it, casual, like it just came up. But it didn't. She shared it because your opinion matters, because your reaction means something to her, and because part of her hopes you'll feel proud of her, even if she's not sure why that matters so much. This isn't arrogance. It's not a flex. It's vulnerability dressed up in achievement. She wants to be seen, not just as pretty or fun, but as valuable, as strong, as capable, as someone worthy of your admiration. Because when a woman truly likes you, she won't chase after your attention. She won't throw herself at you. Instead, she tries to attract you with her presence, with her essence, with the version of herself she's proudest of. She won't beg you to notice her. She won't follow up with, "Did you like it?" She'll just place those small signals around you, like clues, and wait to see if you're the kind of man who pays attention. She's not trying to seduce you with perfection. She's trying to connect through authenticity. She's not asking to be the center of your world. She just wants to know she's more than background noise in it. That's why she puts in the effort, even when she plays it cool. It's for the chance you might look her way and actually see her, not just the outfit, not just the makeup, not just the story, but the intention behind all of it. Because if you can see that, if you can notice the quiet care she's pouring into being around you, then she knows. She didn't waste her energy. She didn't waste her light. And maybe, just maybe, you're the kind of man who deserves the side of her that most people never get to see. So no, she won't say, "Look at me," but every detail will whisper it. Every step she takes around you will hope you're the kind of man who doesn't just look, but truly sees. 12th, she listens with her eyes. When you speak, most people hear the words, but she hears something else. She hears you. She doesn't just nod politely or wait for her turn to talk. She's not glancing at her phone or letting her eyes wander around the room. She's locked in, fully present, as if nothing else matters in that moment but what's coming out of your heart. And more than anything, she listens with her eyes. You'll notice it in the way her gaze doesn't break, even when what you're saying gets heavy. You'll notice it when you talk about things you rarely share with anyone, your fears, your regrets, your doubts. And she doesn't flinch or rush in to fix you. She just listens, still, software steady. That silence, it's not emptiness, it's depth. It's her way of holding space for you without judgment or pressure. She's not just listening to your voice, she's reading your energy. She's watching how your hands move, how your expression shifts, how your breathing changes when you talk about something that matters. And she lets it all in, quietly, without interrupting the flow. She might not say much in response. She might just nod or smile or stay quiet. But don't mistake that for disinterest. That silence is her saying, "Keep going, I'm with you." There's something sacred about the way she listens, because in that moment, she's not trying to change you, fix you, or offer advice. She's offering something rarer, presence. When you pause, when you get lost in thought or hesitate on a painful memory, she doesn't rush to fill the space. She waits. And that patience, that calm, that's what trust looks like in action. It takes a rare kind of woman to do that. To not be afraid of your wounds, to sit with your silence, to hold your gaze even when your story makes you look away. And if you ever find yourself wondering how she feels about you, look into her eyes the next time you speak from the heart. Does she flinch or does she stay? Does she look bored or does she look like she feels every word? Because when a woman listens with her eyes, she's telling you everything she's too afraid to say out loud. She's saying, "I see your depth. I see your pain. I see your truth. And none of it scares me. I'm not here for surface things. I want to understand the man behind the words." And in that kind of listening, there is more love, more safety, and more connection than 1,000 compliments could ever offer. You'll walk away from that conversation, not just heard, but understood. And that feeling, that's how you'll know she cares. Not just with words, but with everything she doesn't say. The Stoic reminder. A Stoic man doesn't chase butterflies. He stands still and lets the truth land on his shoulder when it's ready. He doesn't need to dissect every glance, every pause, every shift in tone. He simply observes, patiently, calmly, without trying to force anything that isn't yet ready to bloom. He understands that real connection doesn't need to be chased. It reveals itself in time. He doesn't spiral into doubt when she pulls back. He doesn't panic when she gets quiet or distant, because he knows something most men don't. If her feelings are real, they will return. They'll surface again, not loudly, but consistently, in small looks, in soft pauses, in the way she remembers your words even days later. A Stoic man doesn't beg for answers. He doesn't demand certainty before it's due. He accepts the space between knowing and not knowing. And in that space, he stays grounded. He speaks with truth. He moves with quiet strength. He holds his frame, not to impress her, but because it is his. And that stillness, that presence, that unwavering calm, that's what draws the right woman in. Because real attraction doesn't perform, it doesn't overwhelm, it doesn't shout. It whispers, it lingers, it returns over and over when it's real. So if you've seen these signs, let them be what they are. Don't overthink them. Don't rush the outcome. Just stay present. Keep your energy clean. And if she's meant to come closer, she will. And if she doesn't, you'll still be standing tall, untouched by desperation, unshaken by uncertainty. That's the Stoic way. Let others chase and cling. You observe. And in doing so, you attract what's meant to stay. Comment below, which of these signs have you felt in your own life? Let's start a real conversation. Like, share, and subscribe for more Stoic wisdom about love, timing, self-respect, and the quiet power of presence. And remember, the first whisper of affection is attention. So look closer, feel deeper, and most of all, listen.